Hello, Bloodstains! So, welcome to this round 6 match between the Headhunters and the Screamers. So, just as a bit of preamble, let's have a little look at the teams. So, we've got the Lustria Headhunters, which is your erstwhile commentator. And as you can see on my team, as you've noticed from the recaps, we're a fairly developed Amazon team. As you can see, the number 2 Blitzer did get a minus agility in its last game. They will be sitting out this match. And I would just like to disagree with the recappers, which is obviously not a problem. This Blitzer will be getting sacked the second I can afford another one. Purely from the point of view that the sooner you buy another Blitzer, the sooner they can level up. But as you can see from my money, I could not afford to replace them straight away. So I've left them in there just so you can see in the team. I still have my Agility 4 thrower. And yeah, you can see we're a very well developed Amazon team. I think I haven't done too bad a job. So let's just have a little look at Ken's team. The Blood Curdling Screamers. And as I said in the last commentary, a little shout out to Ken. He had a few deaths. As you can see from his roster, vampires are a very, very hard team. So we've got the number 2 vampire there is leveled up on Frenzy. We've got a Thrall Wrestle and another one with Dirty Player. You can see he's still taking some injuries. And it's probably worth noting that the recappers are very happy that he finally has an apothecary, because of course he wants to replace those vampires. But if you don't have an apothecary, you always risk the deaths. You always risk the deaths there. So let's have a look at the leaderboard and where we both are so far in the season as we go. So you can see some matches have been played here, and I'm currently in the 3rd position. So if I win this game, that's probably going to be a good thing. I'm going to maybe go up a level. I need to sort of win this. I need to cement my position into the top 4. So we can see poor old Ken down here is at the bottom. Of course, like we said, he's taken a lot of casualties. It's been a hard season for the Screamers, and kudos to Ken. He is seeing it through. He's given it his all every match. It's always going to be a very, very difficult situation to be in. As you could see from his roster, he only had 2 vampires. It's very, very, very difficult. Let's just go see if he's online now. I have asked him to message me when he's ready. Let's have a little look. I probably would have been better off going other way. As I've got a few teams in my roster at the moment. Quite a few of them. Some of these are AI. Some of these are me teaching my kid how to play. Here we go. He's online, so let's see if we can get this match started. As you can see, there's quite a big TV difference. Let's see what inducements that he may take. Just waiting for Ken to accept the invite at the moment. Just bear with us. So as usual, you could see in the last recap, it's been predicted for a Zon win in this. I appreciate that we're the favourites, but it is Blood Bowl and anything could happen. And Ken could always get a victory. Oh, not accepted. Try again. So for the live commentaries, you do have to bear with us a little bit. Things can happen on either end here. And I'm sure Ken's online. He has sent me a message saying he's ready. And we just need to just, give him a chance to accept that invite. I feel a bit self-conscious leaving so much silence in the video. Hopefully he'll accept this soon. And then we can start and get this game kicked off. Still not accepting it. Not sure what's going on there. I can only apologise, guys. I did try to coordinate this one a little bit better, but I did say to Ken I would be doing a preamble. I was a little bit late to the match, so I don't want to say too much here. It's fair enough. So hopefully this time he will accept the invite. Well, you know what I mean. So my overall game plan, of course, is to try and take those vampires down. Oh, here we go. Well, we're going to start now. So I, of course, don't have any petty cash. I'm not going to spend anything out of my roster. So let's have a little look at what Ken's going to take. He's got 2 journeymen, which you might remember from the recap. They did go through that. And let's just see what he's going to take. 300k. Potentially I would take a wizard. There's a vampire star player, of course, that he could take. I think there are many viable choices for him. So let's just see. Live recordings, guys, are always going to have a few hiccups and a few things going on. Just appreciate everybody's patience on this. Again, I wasn't sure. I have been posting up a lot of content recently. I wasn't sure if I would do another one tonight, but as I'm playing, I thought, well, we'll definitely get this up there. Of course, it's very difficult to tell. I'm sure Ken is actually looking through all these choices, and he's trying to work out what it is that he wants to take. We've got a bribe and a wizard. I think the wizard is definitely a good idea. The bribe could pay him some dividends against an a TV team and the Bloodwiser babe. So here we go. We're just about to start.
Hello?
I'm hoping that this should be a very interesting match.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here we are on the loading screen. And hopefully that, Ken, I appreciate, not the favourite, has had a tough season. Here we go. Oh, that looks like that might be a sweltering heat. That could end very badly for either team. So having a little look at his roster, you can see he's got the 2 vampires there. And of course, with vampires, it's that and thralls. So that's what you can see there. Just loads and loads and loads of thralls. So I'm going to skip through some of this. I mean, you saw the rosters. You can see I've got my blitzers. I've got my catchers. There's my star player scrolling past there. That's Ken wants to take her out as soon as he can. So I'm just going to skip through this a little bit. And here we go. Here comes the coin toss. And it's my choice. So at this point, I'm going to pick to receive the ball. I'm going to pick to receive the ball because I want to take as much casualties against Ken as I possibly can, making it a little bit harder. And as always, I'll leave all the skills up on here. I think it's not too obstructive. I'm just going to move the camera. I thought a more top-down view like that would probably, yes. As always, any advice or suggestions in the comments are always welcome. So let's have a look at how Ken's going to set up here. Of course, he's going to leave those thralls on the line. Keep one there with wrestle. I think I probably at this I would consider putting those journey thralls on the line. That's obviously not what he's going to go for here. I'm going to attempt to smash through that. And of course I'll be looking to do as much damage as I possibly can. I'm going to put up all my hardest hitters on the line, all my guard blitzers, all of that. Anything that can do some serious damage, I'm definitely going to be putting those ladies on to the line of scrimmage. Not a bad setup though. It's going to be interesting to see if I can get up and through the flanks there. Putting his vampires a little bit back, that's a good idea. He could give some ground with a view to see which direction that I'm going to decide to put my attack into. So as I said, not really going to mess around here. I've got my Mighty Blow blitzers. They're definitely going to go on here. They're going to try and do a little bit damage as we go. I'll put the one with guard sort of a little bit in the middle there as well. Take out my journey. Probably not a bad idea to swap those guys around because I can hit with the blitzer. If I get a push, I can move that thrall along the line and maybe get another hit on them. I'll sort of do the similar. I've got my wrestle. I'm not kicking actually. I might just swap that around there and put a wrestle there. Of course, I'm going to use looking for the catcher. Catcher's there. We don't want her there. Of course, we want her back there in order to take the line. There we go. Put that one there. Put some there. Put this line down here with the block and the tackle ready to do a blitz if necessary. And I'm going to keep both of these lines where they are on the sidelines there. It wouldn't be the end of the world if either of those scored. I would like to get those leveled up. So Ken's going to go for the kickoff. He hasn't got a kick. I get to do one adjacent move. Ball's going to land quite right back there. I'm move her back just in case it doesn't go off the pitch. But I think we can do that. And as we can see, I was right. We do have the sweltering heat on the weather table there. That can make and break teams. I don't think I want to score too quickly. I think I do want to attempt to score. So as that's quite a deep kick, I'm going to go ahead and do some of my hits first. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can get this throw down here. Take the pow. Down you go. We won't follow up. And we get a KO. Not a bad opening move there from the Zons. We're going to have a little hit with this line and see what we can do. We get both down. I have block, of course. So we'll take that. So I need to get somebody up there to assist. So she's not doing me a whole lot of good over there. Now we know where the ball is. So she's going to run up over there and give me the assist. So let's see what we can do. So we'll take the push and we won't follow up. So now at this stage I need to start thinking about securing the ball. I'm going to go for my 0-star player point line. We're going to see if maybe we can do something to... of course she fails to pick up. And you know what? I'm not going to use a reroll at this stage. He can't get to the ball. That's okay. We'll take that. I'm not going to waste a reroll at this point. So let's have a look at what Ken's going to do. And of course the camera's decided to move itself. So let's get that back down to a top down. As always, in the comments, if you think there's a better camera angle to watch the game from, do suggest it. And I will definitely give that a go. But I think this is probably a good angle to see what's going on. So Ken could run down either flank. He could give me a bit of grief there. He could put some pressure on. I understand I don't want to fill up the airwaves with just a load of nonsense. If there's not much to say about a play or what's going on, I don't think remaining a little bit quiet is the end of the world. Ken's just trying to get himself into a position. And like I said, look at that. He is trying to put some pressure down that flank. Of course, moving the vampires is always a heart-rendering moment for Ken. They could bloodlust at any moment. He's got his 4 rerolls. 2 vampires, that feels about right. So, no, not going for that blitz. Oh, he is going for that blitz. Yeah, take it from that corner. Of course, Amazon's very hard to get down if you don't have tackle and block. He's put frenzy on that. Not too bad. He ends up next to a thrall. He's going to attempt to dodge that out and do a go for it. Oh no, no. He's thinking about it. He's definitely thinking about that. He does the dodge roll. moves that lone thrall across. Of course, I did have an agility 4 line woman, but she's out at the moment, so I'm not going to attempt to pick that ball up straight away. I'm going to see if we can do a little bit of mitigation on that. So I'm going to use this wrestle line, help with the assist there. That would be a 1 dice, so let's move this middle one down. Let's just try and take the pressure off of what's going on in this flank a little bit. Because even if I pick up the ball, movement 6, I'm not going to get very far up the pitch. So we're going to take the stumble. We'll hit that. I'm going to stay where I am so that I can still mark that other thrall. And I think I'm reasonably safe to maybe do a few blocks over here. She hasn't got any skills, maybe not so much with her. It's all 1 dice. So we'll move this line across. Give a little bit of assist on the line there. Let's see if we can do some damage to this thrall. And then we can try again with this blitzer here and see what she can do. A push, we'll take the push. Again, we won't follow up. I think I need to mark this vampire. I'll use my wrestle line to just put a mark on that vampire. He can dodge away on a 2+, but we've got to try and make that difficult. So if I fail this pickup, I think I will use a reroll now. I don't think I want to risk it going off the pitch there. But of course, nope, of course she doesn't pick it up. So yeah, I'm going to use the reroll at this point. And that helps. So let's run her as far as she can go up there. So now we need to think about protecting the ball carrier. If I move the thrower over to here, that puts a few tackle zones down. That makes it hard for him to come at that point of attack. That vampire is going to be a bit of a problem. So I don't think I'm going to risk dodging out with her at the moment. Mind you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go for it, go for it. He can mark the ball carrier, but he can't really hit the ball carrier. So what we'll do is we'll move this line woman down here just to make it a little bit more difficult for him. I'm not going to go for the 1 dice block there. 1 dice blocks are always risky, and I need to keep my guys upright and on the pitch. Make him make the blocks. We have a lot of blodgers. That live woman's a blodger. One thrall's going to find it very hard to knock her down. He wants to try and stop this drive as close into my half that he can. He's going for a hypnotic gaze, and it pulled off. That eliminates her. I didn't see that was a possibility. He didn't see it. He gets a mark there. And of course now he can have a little blitz, and hopefully something might come off for Ken on this point. Of course, that's the trick with vampires, is mastering the hypnotic gaze. I think that's what wins you the games here. Obviously, it's a bit of a live match. You can see the opponent trying out the different things. It's not quite the same as... so he'll get a 2 dice. She hasn't got block. She does have dodge. Let's see what he rolls. So not perfect. Not perfect for Ken. Zons are very hard to get down, of course. So just deciding what to do with that vampire. Of course, that vampire is a little bit out in the open. With he's going to move the thrall down. That's probably very wise. If the vampire bloodlusts, he wants the option to make sure that vampire can feed off that thrall. It's a very smart move from Ken there. So he doesn't fail the bloodlust. He only gets some pushes. But he does get a pow on the thrall, off on the line of scrimmage. AV7, that's going to be a stun. So obviously I want to free this ball carrier up, so I'm going to blitz for this thrower. Of course she has block, so she's a leveled up thrower. We can do that. If I hit from that point of angle, even if I get a push, I can just push him away. So we get the stumble. I'm not going to follow up. I don't want to give him free hits on my star player. I'm just going to mark it with this line here. So I want to do my safe moves. Oh, just certainly don't want to be going for it at this stage. Quite close to the vampire. So we'll run her up the pitch. Let's do a go for it. I might end up burning some rerolls here, but I really need to get up that pitch just a little bit. So we've got some distance. So I use this blitzer. We're going to knock this stroll out the way. Get him down on the stumble. And we're going to stay because he's in a good position to protect that ball carrier. Now obviously we don't want that vampire doing too much. Now I kind of have to activate her. I always regret thinking I'm going to do this 1 dice block. It never ends well for me. I think I'm going to go for that one because that would free him up. And of course I roll a skull. We'll re-roll that. We'll do them both down. Okay, at least that frees up this one. And we want to start caging up. It was a very deep kick. We'll move this line over here. Form a proper cage. So now I'm just having a little think. I wouldn't mind getting someone on that other corner. I'm probably going to go for it with this line woman. I don't have any rerolls. She does have the dodge skill. So let's see what happens. So she manages to dodge away. We've got a little bit of a cage going on there. Not going to risk the 1 dice. I did just roll a skull. I think that's probably not a bad advance up the pitch here. Due to sweltering heat, I don't want to score too soon anyway. Sweltering heat can cause a lot of problems. Obviously, like you could have quite a few of your players just out of a drive, I don't think it's worth me there. Currently, I am still committed to get that line to score. I'm not in a massive rush. I just need to get her into Ken's half of the pitch there and just try to protect her as best I can. As an AV7 team, of course, Ken could knock some of them down if he rolls enough pals. And that could change. Not sure how Ken's could break through the line. He might want to think about doing a bit of a screen at the moment, rather than thinking about bashing his way through. He really just wants to try and slow my advance. As we all know, Zon's moved 6 across the board. Of course, there's the hypnotic gaze. He's failed the hypnotic gaze. He still has the 4 rerolls. He's obviously having a think about whether he wants to use. Is it worth him using one at this point? He decides. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No. So you can see he's starting to think about forming more of a screen now. It wasn't a bad strategy to think it was a deep kick. I'm going to force the Zons to cage up deep into their own half. It's not a bad position. I'm going to find it quite difficult to break through the line of the 2 thralls there. He's got some good tackle zones down. We're going up the centre of the pitch. We haven't got a whole lot of room to manoeuvre. At this point, I'm trying to think of a way that I can try and outrun what he's moved down in order to threaten that ball carrier. Of course, failing that pickup in the first turn hasn't done the Zons any favours. It did cost us a turn of advancement, but I think I did the right thing not using that reroll. I don't think that would have been worth it. I'm already down 2 rerolls. My own fault, really. That's what happens when you risk those 1 dice blocks. So I have to think about how I'm going to break through. What I'm probably going to do is maybe try and find a way. If I stand her up. Oh, if I can stand. Come on, stand up. There we go. Get the 2 dice there. That's okay. I can take that push. I can shove that thrall down there. A little bit out of the way. That'll allow me a 2 dice blitz here. We get the stumble. And I'm going to follow that up. So I'm just going to check where that vampire can go. And where can I go? I can probably run this. Oh, we've got to do something about that thrall there. So I'm probably going to just try and blitz this thrall out the way. We get a push. That's okay. We can push that there. I want to stay because yeah, if I move it, I want to move it there. I want to make sure I leave a little bit of room for my ball carrier to be able to manoeuvre through there. I can go to there, and as we saw, let's just have another check where that vampire can go. So he can definitely get a blitz there. I have one more reroll. Let's just take it to there. The vampire can mark, but can't really get the blitz. Oh, that was a bit of a misclick as I was working it out. But I think, oh, a loner. Yeah, go on. Oh, you know I'm going to fail it. No, there we go. Get that marked there. So I want to start. I'm going to take some dodge rolls. Of course, all the Zons do have dodge. Oh. Just to make it as tricky as possible. And we'll run this one up. Oh. So of course, what you can sometimes see on there, you know, always have a double check before you do that confirmation second click. So we definitely want her running up and into the action. So we'll take a risk and dodge out like that. She is agility 4. She's in a bit of precarious position. If Ken really wanted to take her out, of course he could. Yeah, we'd probably be better off just marking that thrall there. So let's see if Ken takes the opportunity to take out the agility 4 thrower. She's a star player. I think she's one of the scarier players in the league. Of course, many other coaches have their own scary players, but I think she is one that you're all hoping that's going to die. So let's see. He's got a dirty player thrall there. If he can knock her down, he could probably get quite a good foul with quite a lot of assists there. That's certainly what I'd be thinking about doing. Get her down. Surround her up. Get that dirty player in and get the boot in. Of course, Ken does also want to force me to score as early as possible. Sweltering Heat could win him this game. That's the beauty of the kickoff events. They do add that little random element and can affect how you play the game. I certainly don't want to risk that I lose like 3-4 players and Ken doesn't lose anybody. It would make my life a whole lot harder. My goal is to get her up there and to stall for as long as I can. So he's got his Frenzy Vampire. Not sure about that skill choice personally. I probably would have gone for maybe a block or... Frenzy's a bit risky on a vamp. Well, an undeveloped vamp. I can see that a little bit later on. But that's just me. So I'm going to run her up into a bit of a stalling position. Do my safety moves first. We're not going to attempt to do any go for it. The vamp, of course, could dodge away and get free. But my intention now is to do a little bit of damage on the vampire here. So we're going to move that one there. Oh, we're going to hit with one of the wrestle girls. If I get her both down, that's okay. We get a push. Okay. We'll move them up there. We're going to follow. We'll take a hit. Ooh. We'll take that hit later on. I might have to make sure that there aren't more safer moves for me to do first. So I'll stand up this line. We're going to run her up as well. We need a few backup there in case something does happen. Make sure that we can score at another time. Just have a quick little look. I think we need to maybe try and do this and see if we can get some, free up that other Zon there. So we use our Mighty Blow Blitz. Oh, it hasn't got Mighty Blow. I apologise. I keep assuming they all do. I am intending to hit that vampire. I'm going to set it up for a bit of a foul. I do want to get his vampires off as soon as possible. Of course, I've already used up my blitz there. I think maybe now's the time to see if we can do a little bit, see if we can at least get this vampire on the ground. Oh, we don't have... I'm going to take the both down. I'm not going to re-roll that. That's a loner. That vampire is the only real threat we've got there. He can't get any players up to me. That would just be a waste of a re-roll. Now he's down, of course, as you can see. Can't even base that player. Would be a few dodge rolls. But of course this gives him the opportunity to run some of his own players up the pitch. Threaten that ball carrier. Threatening that ball carrier. So when you're against coaches and who are going to be stalling, and you know they're going to stall for as long as they can, you've got to make it as unattractive as possible for them. You've got to get those players up. You've got to have players in threatening distances for blitzers. You've also got to be fouling. You've got to be saying, yeah, you can stay on that line for as long as you want, but every time you stay there, I'm going to do gang fouling every turn. Unless you score. Make them pay for that stall. Let's move the camera down a little bit so we can see what's going on down here. He's got to move those players up if he can. And that's it. You know, he wants to get her down. He has a bribe. Yeah, you want to be fouling, Ken. Get in there. Stick that boot in. She's an important player. You want to give her some stick. That's probably sensible, though. He's doing that. He's working it out, as you can see. He knows he wants to get the foul in, but of course he could double and get sent off. Even with the bribe, could fail. You know, you want to try and do this as safely as possible. It's a shame it's not his dirty player, Thrall, but this could do some serious damage. Let's see what happens. He gets a stun and he gets a sent off. Will he use his bribe? He uses that bribe. That's a shame. That's, again, we've talked about star player inducements in the past. It is one of the things with bribes when you haven't got something like a chainsaw. Of course, you're hoping you won't have to use it too soon. But I think he made the right move there. At this point, if I was Ken, I would just keep fouling her every single turn. That will force me to score. I definitely don't want to lose that player. I would just keep fouling her. That's going to harm my chances later on into the league. So that's my turn. I'm going to have a little look at what I can do. So I'm probably going to attempt to hit that vampire down and mark that thrall. I think that's probably my best bet. It's strength 4. It's going to take me 2 assists in order to do that. We get those assists in. I'm going to make sure that thrall is marked before I roll any dice. So I'm just going to move her up there. That makes it a little bit less certain that that ball carrier is going to get hit. So now I need to try and hit this vampire in a way if it goes down, I want to make sure that I can get a decent foul in there. So we've got the POW. I'm going to push it up this way and follow. Oh, we got an injury anyway. No long-term effect. He's using his epoch. That's probably not a bad idea. He gets to bring it back again into the next drive. That's probably a wise move at this stage for Ken. He wants that vampire in his own drive. But it will allow me to sort of get some more marking in on that thrall there. I'm just going to stand this one up. See, I made that mistake. That's the first thing I should have done, was stand her up. I got a little bit too focused on what was going on in that top half of the pitch. So I'm just going to risk the dodge. She's got dodge. And then just give it a whack with that other blitzer. And we're getting the POWs. Sorry about the camera angle. It keeps sort of changing on its own. I don't know. So what can you do? So we're going to follow that up. And boom. Oh. Yeah. I think my star plays in a very precarious position down there. Well, I've really got to think about this. Trying to dodge her away is going to be risky. I think I have to accept he's going to get some free fouls on that player. That's a shame. I wasn't really thinking about protecting her as I was about moving the ball up the pitch. She got stunned. She's probably going to get fouled again this turn. I'm actually hoping that if he fouls her, either doesn't break armour or she's KO'd. If she's KO'd, then at least she's off the pitch and safe from getting kicked in the head every turn. But I would definitely be fouling her again. There we go. He's just going to go for that. Bash. Have some of that. We got another stun. Another sent off. We're on turn 7. I've got my star player on the ground. I think I'll go for a hit over here where I can. But I do intend to score now. I think if I score the, I need to score. Oh, we got an injury. Look at that. It's only a badly hurt. It's only on a thrall. That takes his dirty player off the pitch. That's probably a good thing for the Zons. Oh, I'm not going to risk that. That just seems a bit silly, but I will go for a blitz down here. Look. We want to try and do some damage before we can. If I score this turn, I'm still going to have another turn. I don't want to start wasting my re-rolls too much. But we'll have another whack on this thrall here. If she rolls something bad, we might think about it. But no. Okay. There we go. And the camera's decided to reset itself again. I have looked in my settings to see what I can do about that, but it's all good. I'm not going to risk any dodges there. I've already done my blitz. I think I'm just going to score in order to save my catcher. My thrower, sorry. I don't want her getting fouled every turn until she's dead. She's a pretty pinnacle player on this team. I think I can hold Ken back for 2 turns. So let's just get that score in. Let her do a victory dance. All good. So now I've got to set up my plays into an attack. So he still does have 2 turns. It is possible, depending on kickoff rolls. Let's have a look what Sweltering Heat did. It's taken off my very leveled up kick line woman. We're about equal on that. That could have been a lot worse. I think that's fairly acceptable, but I'll put these unleveled up lines on the line of scrimmage because we don't mind if they take a few hits. We'll get that loner on there as well. So I'm going to put these blitzers out on the wings like this. I might get a blitz. I could potentially, if I get a blitz, I could potentially get another touchdown. So I'm going to set up just in case I do get that blitz. I'm keeping some tackle zones down here. I'm going to leave her sort of in the centre there. I want her protected by the rest of the team. So we'll see what happens. I might not get the blitz. But sometimes that's something you have to think about sometimes. If I get the blitz, I want to be set up in a position where I can take advantage of that. And sometimes you have to think, well, even if I get the blitz, I would rather protect my team. I'm going for the victory here. A victory here, like I said in the recap on the teams, that would give me a fairly secure place into the top 4. So he's certainly marking up that right hand flank of attack there. Oh. And on to there. So if I do get the blitz now, I'm not going to be able to take a huge amount of advantage over that. He's got one thrall up in the backfield. He obviously is going to set up to try and get as many hits in as possible now. Like I said, yeah, I could have set them up further down the field, but I'm just preparing just in case. I know it's only a 1 result on the kickoff table, but you know what it's like. Sometimes you think, oh, I'll do the safety, then you get the blitz and you think, oh, I should have set that up a little bit differently. But if I get perfect defense, I'll be moving those girls away from the line of scrimmage as well. He's putting a bit of thought into his setup. It's not a bad setup. He'll definitely get the hits in it, depending on the kickoff table results, of course. Of course, if I do get a blitz, I won't be able to move any of those anymore now because they're all in tackle zones. So that's not a bad counter setup there. I kept a strong line of scrimmage going on there. Oh, he's just about to run out of time. So let's see what happens. We're going to kick that ball off. Changing weather, nice. I'm certainly breathing a sigh of relief over that. I definitely didn't want sweltering heat in this game. But now he's going to get some smacks in. Of course, again, Zon's leveled up blitzer, very hard to knock her down. We will use the dodge. He's going to find it very hard to surf her off. Oh, he has frenzy. I didn't check that. That's my bad. That was probably the wrong call. Let's see what he does. Oh, no, he goes the other direction. Oh, and he rolls a skull. He has the reroll, might as well use it. And bang. Of course, Ken could have used his wizard in that first half to stop me from scoring. I don't think he made much of a mistake there. Holding back onto that wizard, I mean, it's a bit of a long shot for Ken to win in this game. And keeping that wizard back for his own drive, where he has the whole of the second half to score, is probably not a bad idea. He could maybe force that draw in. That would be a good result for Ken against these Zons. I'm sorry, the game keeps changing the angle. Maybe I'll just keep it at the angle that it seems to want me to use. So we go for that pickup. Doesn't look like he's going to go for a vanity pass there. He hasn't got the speed to score from that position. I'm not too worried about what he's going to do there. Oh, he's failed to pick up. So of course now I'm just going to try and get these hits in as best I can. So of course I got the guard player there. We get a push. Attempt to hit this vampire down. Injuring these vampires, of course, would definitely give me even more of an advantage than I've already got. So we'll take them both down because we've got block. Let's see, we want to hit. We're going to risk a few 1 dice blocks at this stage. She has wrestle. Gets the push. I'm going to attempt to gang foul that vampire that's down there. So that's freed us up to get the 2 dice there. We'll just stay. Use the wrestle, that's the safer block. Get the pow. Follow. Get this one to assist as well. Oh, we're going to do a mother of all gang fouls here. I'm going to use the loner to do it. Don't care if she gets sent off. Let's see what happens. And bosh, have some of that. Oh, only a stun. Only a stun. We might as well blitz this loner here. Oh no, I haven't used the blitz. Okay, so we just blitz that loner here. There we go. Another stun. We'll go for that 1 dice. I've got block. We get that. And we just follow that through. Why not? Come on, injury. No, another stun. And that's... Oh, no, not quite the first half. He has another turn. Still not really able to score. Not much he can do. He wants to get some hits in though. He wants to see if he can do some damage on these Zons. This was always going to be a tough game for the Curdlers. And you got to give Ken some respect. He played in some of the early leagues. He's come back. When I saw he was taking vampires, I was like, oh, that's always brave. I'm not brave enough to take vampires yet myself. He took the casualties in the early games, and it is going to be an uphill struggle for Ken in this season. But you know, you've got to respect coaches that don't give up. You know, this is Blood Bowl. This is what can happen. You know, I hear some of the recappers sometimes saying I have a good chance in that. I may be 7. Half my team could be wiped out in the next couple of games. You just got to take it on the chin sometimes. He goes for a failed dodge. You might as well re-roll that. Try to keep him up on his feet. And that's the end of the first half. So going into the second half, 1-0 to the Zons. The Vamps are going to receive. Everybody's going to come back on. Sweltering here. There's no more sweltering heat. So just before I set up, as you can see, I haven't taken much in the way of casualties there. And Ken's got 1 injured and 1 sent off thrall. So he's going to be down 2 players in this half. So I know, you know, I now need to have a little bit more of a defensive setup. So unless he puts his Vamps in the line of scrimmage, I'm just going to move some of these out of here. Pretty standard setup there. Players that I'm not too worried about, they get hit. I'll probably leave my blitzers there. I'm still going to hope that I get the blitz there. Move her across for the... And just like that. So that's not a fairly standard setup, but I do want to take advantage if the blitz comes up on the kickoff table. That's my thinking there. And even if it doesn't, Ken thinks I'm going to be very aggressive here. He might keep the same kind of setup. But let's see what he's going to do. If I was Ken at this stage, I'd probably put a vampire in the backfield, ready to catch the ball. I'd put the vampires in position for that. Obviously, he needs to think about if they bloodlust, he needs at least 1 or 2 thralls there as well. That always makes it a little bit tricky, but he wants a vampire picking up that ball. He doesn't want to rely on the thralls, I don't think. He wants those vampires to level up. He's got to be thinking about how to score with them. Let's see what he does. So of course I'm thinking about how to bring more content back to the league. We're going to do some things around the finals. We might use the Neophyte final as a little bit of a testing ground. Oh, we get the extra E-roll. After the last time where I burnt through a couple a little bit quickly, that could be a good thing. So he hasn't put the vampires up to pick up that ball. He's going to use them to help him smash through the line instead. We didn't get the blitz. Oh, a KO'd blitzer. That's a good result for Ken there. Not going to pock that. Just going to take that one on the chin. Oh, he's double sculled it. He's going to re-roll that. Oh, that was a shame. This is why I would have said block's a bit of the better skill there. So that changes things up a little bit. I'm aggressively now going to go for that ball. Oh, I'm just having a little think. God almighty blow. It's a little bit risky. It'll cost me 2 rolls and a pickup, but I think I'm going to go for that. We get the first re-roll. Oh, sorry, we get the first go for it. We get the second go for it and the pickup. Oh, she fails the pickup. I'm going to re-roll that. I got the extra re-roll. Why not? Let's see what she does. This time she does actually manage to pick up that ball. So I'm not going to do anything too clever with this one. I want to mark that throw on that side. Making that a little bit difficult. And of course with Zons, we're not AG4. We do have dodge. I'm going to mark up this thrall as well. We're just going to make this a little bit difficult. Oh, that's 2 go for it's again. That's a lot to go for it. But I'm doing a very risky, aggressive play here. So let's do this. Let's see what happens. I have used my re-roll up this turn. I am taking some risks. But they are calculated risks, I think. I've got a lot of those safeties going on. Let's not go too crazy though. Let's get the 2 dice blitz on this one here. With my wrestle player. Not able to really bust much of a hole through there. Let's see if we can. Haven't got any guard there. My 2 left guard, 2 players with guard are up the top of the field. I've had another blitzer KO'd. I'm down another blitz. So they were my guard players. That of course makes it a little bit difficult. So let's just mark this loner thrall here. A little bit paranoid about leaving her too much out in the open, of course, after last time. We'll use her to mark up this vamp. Let's see if we can get her to maybe run through the line. That's 2 dodge rolls. I think that's probably worth it. She's got the dodge skills. There she goes, straight through. And that's just, oh. Yeah, we're going to do some really risky plays here. I can hear the recappers shouting at me in my head of, oh, that's too risky, don't do that. But, you know, you don't go for it, it's not going to happen. It was just unfortunate for Ken that that vampire double sculled it, re-rolled it for a both down, no block. It may seem a bit boring, it may seem a bit like a cookie cutter build, but we can't overemphasize the importance of block. It's an extremely important skill, particularly on players you want to hit with. Of course, he's going to try and use that hypnotic gaze, and unfortunately it fails. On a 3+, he's been unfortunate a little bit with those hypnotic gazes. That certainly would have helped him get some players up to get some threats. Understanding, of course, for my drive. Oh, he failed that dodge. Yeah, he wants to sort of goes, and this time he does get the hypnotic gaze. If he wants an assist, of course, he's going to have to risk a dodge roll. He's used his re-roll. Or he might just go for a blitz on the one dice. It's very, very risky. Of course, my player has block. Got to be quite difficult to take down. But he's going to go for that dodge roll. Oh, yeah, he's going to go for that dodge roll. It's a 3+. Sometimes you've got to take those risks. That was very unfortunate there. He's not quite getting the dice. I'm going to run this in for a touchdown, I think. We're quite early days. That secures a victory. And we may be able to get another one for that victory. So we've got a 2-0 to the Zons at the moment. The Zons are a very frustrating team to play against when you don't have a lot of tackle and block. They're very hard to take down. And now I'm going to do a much, much safer setup. I don't need to rely on a blitz now. We're 2-0 up. We're going to get these guys down. I want it a little bit more controlled. I'm going to have a little think about it. Maybe get them up like that. In a little bit more of the old smiley face setup that we all know and love. If you look, the vampires are movement 6, the thralls are movement 6, or mine are movement 6. No one can outrun anybody. Wherever he goes, I'm going to be able to get some players there. So let's just get these down. I could possibly put them one square up, but I think I'm okay where we are there. Maybe just swap those two around, keeping her reasonably safe. Again, keeping the non-leveled up lines on the field, keeping the loner up on the line of scrimmage, all that in the line of scrimmage. Don't mind if they get a bit whacked about. I'd like that one that scored the touchdown in the first half to score a second touchdown, but let's see what happens. So hopefully now he's going to keep those vampires up in the backfield. He wants one of those picking up the ball if he can. He wants to level them up. Oh, so do remember, if you do have a kick player that's eligible to kick the ball, you want to make sure that you've selected them for the kickoff. And then as you can see, that will change things. So I could kick it in deep, but he's got his vampires up deep. I'm going to go for it about here, or maybe a little bit. I risk it going off the pitch in. Oh, I took too long. I took a bit too long with that, and it defaults to there. That's okay. Less explaining, more doing. And of course now I do get the blitz. Oh, I'm not 100% set up to take much advantage over it, but let's have a look at what we can do here. I think whatever I try to do is going to be a little bit risky. If I maybe move her up to there. Because she's got the guard. And then we can try and smash it here. This gives us a threat up this side. Let's see what happens. We've got a stumble. Gonna follow that through. So that's a shame. It's a shame. Too much talking, not enough doing. And of course, if I had put it, if the ball had landed where I was thinking of putting it, this would have been a much bigger threat. But never mind. That's all good. Let's just get these players a little bit marked. Get some threats in. Play a little bit aggressively now. But not too aggressively. We don't want to go much further up the pitch than this line here. We don't want to go much further than that. That could end very badly. We'll just move her along there. Maybe just move her up just a little bit there. So we do have the numbers advantage. Ken's in a very difficult position. Not sure what you can do from here. Picking up with the vampire is a good idea. I'd potentially get that second vampire, trying to outflank there. He wants to keep an option open to pass that ball to the other vampire if it becomes necessary. Obviously, he wants to score with the vampire without skills up. So, of course, he's going to have another go. Hypnotic Gaze. Oh, he's re-rolled at this time. But he's not had much luck on rolling those Hypnotic Gazers in this game. He keeps rolling 2s. But this will allow him to punch in a hole. He's doing it with a bit of a loner there. He's already used his re-roll. And again, it is, like I said, it's very hard to knock the Zons down when you don't have tackle or block. We have a tendency to stay on our feet a bit there. So relieved there aren't many Dwarves and Chaos Dwarves in this league. So he's going to try and punch a hole through there. I know these commentaries at the moment, a little bit dry. I just want to do a couple ball, get my feet wet a little bit with it, and hopefully I will be bringing somebody else in with me. So it won't be the same person every time. It'll be whoever's available for whatever commentaries that they are. So that will be a thing. So I kind of want to try and see if I can do something. Maybe try and hit that vampire. So we'll try and run this line up. We can mark him there. Of course, we have dodge. This doesn't always work out too well. So how would she do it? She would come up here. She won't be able to get really much of a whack in. So we want to move this thrall out the way. So we'll mark with this one. Punch with her. Hopefully we'll get this thrall down. And we do. So I need to think about how she's going to run. We'll follow. Let's see what happens. So we would like to get another mark up on that vampire. That's to go for it. Let's see if she can make that dodge roll. We're going to go for it. I still have 3 re-rolls. Oh, probably a good thing because of course I'm going to need to use one. So she obviously already... Oh, that was a go for it. That's why. Okay. So we used our reroll. Again, I'm going to take another aggressive play here. It may not work out for me, and it doesn't. Look at that. Down she goes. I can afford to give Ken a touchdown at this point. So I, of course, want to make that as difficult as possible. I should have perhaps have stood those players up, by the way, guys. Again, when it comes to the recap, I expect to get fairly heavily criticised for my lack of... oh, he's failed his bloodlust. It's the first bloodlust of the game. Not too bad for him. Oh, now we're just going to see what happens there. Is he going to be only a stun? Not too bad on a bloodlust. He can potentially easily dodge that vampire away now. There's a few gaps he could run through there. Like I said, it was my own fault. I didn't stand those players up. Always stand up your down players first. Beginning of your turn, take a deep breath. Let's do the safety moves first. And of course, I didn't do that. I got all excited about the potential of a little bit of an aggressive play there, but he's going to do... Oh, he's bloodlusted again. He's going to have to land next to a thrall. We must have re-rolled that bloodlust. Let's have a quick look at the dice log here. He re-rolled that. He did re-roll that. Probably a smart move there on his part. He's got no re-rolls left. I'm wondering at this stage whether he remembers he's got a wizard. He could easily blast a hole through there next turn. I'm going to have to pull something out to stop him from scoring. But like I said, I took the aggressive play. I'm 2-0 up. If Ken scores a touchdown, it's not the end of the world for me. He's got to protect that ball carrier. Yeah, he's making the right moves there. Maybe a little bit open on that side if he moves. No, I think he's okay. So I need to spend this turn to kind of regroup a little bit. So let's do our stand-ups first. Make sure we do those stands. Get them up onto their feet. Move her to there. So we're going to do a bit of a safety block. Hopefully I don't get both down. She does have wrestle, but I'd rather she remained upright. Smack him and follow. Oh, we get an injury. Broken ribs, miss next game. He's already used his apoc to save his vampire. Smart move, of course. Oh, we got one here I should really be thinking about. So what I'm going to do is get up there on the assist. We're going to use our blitz, our mighty blow blitzer here. Oh, we only get a push. Push it that way. You know what? Yeah, we'll follow up. Why not? We'll follow up there. Allowing me enough to at least get something in there, get the guard player in there to mark that vampire. And we'll mark this one. We'll start trying to box him in a little bit. I don't want her landing next to another player. Got to think about, he's going to try and run that ball forward, so I'm actually going to move her maybe back one there. And we're going to see what happens. I'm not going to go for the one dice block. I'm actually going to move her down to get some more players in a little bit of a screen there. I don't know, if I was Ken at this point, I'd be thinking about throwing down that fireball, maybe where I've got that highlighted there. That could potentially take those two down and give it a hole, or maybe even over here, look. That would probably be the better bet. He could potentially take those two out, lightning bolt her, allowing him to run down this way. He's got the players here that he could protect that. Of course, it is possible that he's forgotten that he's got the wizard. I've done that before. I think a few of us have done that before. You kind of get so involved in the game that you forget that you've got that tool in your arsenal, and you end up not using it. It's not till after the game you think, oh, I had a wizard, I could have done this or that or the next thing. But right now, oh, he has remembered. Look at that. And he's gone for the first option. That does give him 3 down. He's all 3 is stunned, I think. 2 is stunned. He's created a hole. Now he's got to try to take advantage of that. I would potentially have still opted for the lightning bolt over here. But it worked. It worked. He's going for it for a few rolls there. He wants that touchdown on that vampire. And that makes a lot of sense there, because of course it's an unleveled up vampire. He wants them to level a bit. I don't know if his intention is to bring them back next season. I kind of hope he does. I do promote that you can have a bad season, you can have players killed, that team can in fact come back again. But obviously we would never pressure him into that. I mean, he's been a real champ in this season. He's played on and he's giving it his best every single game. I would also understand if you went, you know what, I'm going to go for a bit more of a reliable team for the next one. So I want to try and do something to try and stop him from scoring there. So my guard players are still sort of away and out of the action. So I think the best I'm going to get here is a 1 dice if I'm going to do this. So I guess we would want her. No, that's a go to... you go there, and then you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go for it. Go for it. Very, very, very risky. Where can she do? She's not going to do us a whole lot of good. Although, you know, abusing the agility 4, that's probably bit too risky at this stage. I don't want to be too crazy with it. Now I am going to leave her on the floor for a second. I want to try and get some hits in and just see what I can free up over here. It is risky. I do still have some re-rolls. Not really a whole lot of help. That wizard has helped him bust through that line quite. Oh, and of course we do a fail. I have been risking a lot of dice this game. I have gotten away with an awful lot. I can't complain too much about that. That's going to make the one dice block I'm inevitably going to take a lot riskier. I'm just going to move her out the way, I think. And I'm going to have to do something with these guys. So just working out my moves. It's going to involve some go for it, but I am going to go for this one dice. I think if I move her there, of course, if they fail, I've already used my re-roll, and that's it, turn over. That's certainly opened Ken up for that touchdown. And he's going for that safety. He can easily protect that ball carrier. Yeah, he wants to get that thrall down there in case he bloodlusts. I took a risk being that aggressive early on in the half. But like I said earlier, you know, I know I'm already a touchdown up. It's 2-0 in Zon's favour. Ken getting this touchdown isn't going to win him the game. I'm pretty safe from getting the draw. He's not going to score until next turn. Giving him one turn, and I'm of course going to receive the ball in the kickoff. So the game's obviously in the bag at this point for the Zons. Taking those risky plays, sometimes it is worth it. That could have pulled off. As you saw early on, I got an early second touchdown because I was aggressive and took those risks. But I was perfectly prepared to concede Ken this one touchdown. So if the risks had paid off, it would have been a 3-0 win to the Zons. Of course, is there going to be potentially a 2-1? Of course, we'll see what happens. It's Blood Bowl. Anything could happen. So let's see what we can do to maybe make sure that that doesn't happen. Not really a whole lot. Don't think I can get to that ball carrier. All I can do is just try to make it as hard as possible. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to get, just in case, move her back down there. Oh, maybe I should have done that first. So I've now blocked her in a little bit. Never mind. We're going to get maybe a bit of fouling in then. See if we can punish him a little bit. So that's he's leveled up Thrall down there. He's got wrestle. 10-star player points. I'm going to just concede that touchdown. I think we can accept that Ken definitely took advantage of my risky plays not paying off, but let's get as many assists onto this player as possible. And then we can bring a little bit of pain down. It's a 3+ foul. Let's do this. Let's see if we can just have some pain there, Ken. Bosh, just a knockout. Could have been a lot worse. Not sent off. Just make that block there a little bit harder. Of course, he could score at this point. That's what I'm assuming he's going to do. Looks like he might be going for an extra turn stall though, but if he does that, of course, I'm just going to foul that Restful Thrall again. I am thinking this might be the last of my own matches that I commentate. It's very difficult because I am trying to watch the game, and like you saw, because I'm so busy talking to you guys, you know, I didn't place the ball down in the kickoff where I would have liked to have placed it. And I end up getting a little bit wrapped up in just watching the game a little bit, trying to watch what my opponent's trying to do. So I think next time I won't commentate my own matches live after this. I might do it on a replay. I think doing it live isn't as entertaining unless I'm doing it for somebody else, where I can just sit back and just not worry about it and just comment on what's going on. And there are a lot of gaps in this as I'm trying to focus on what my opponent's doing. And of course that's C now. I mean, he's left it. I could do very risky stuff going on here. I could go for that 5+ dodge. Yeah, we won't be doing that anytime soon. So we're probably going to try and bring a little bit of hurt onto this thrall here. Mighty Blow Blitzer, and it gets the KO. That's probably a good thing there, Ken, because I was only going to gang foul that one in half into the ground. But yeah, so all this content's a rather new thing to the league. And we're all sort of learning a little bit as we go along. And I think the lesson I've learned from this match is I don't really want to comment on my own matches that I'm trying to play live at the same time. But I will be setting up on Tuesday to record and comment on Matt and Leon's game in the Neophyte League. That will be a Nurgle versus Undead. That's a Nurgle versus Undead match on Tuesday. The upload might have to be the next day on the Wednesday. I think that will be a very interesting game. They're both actually quite experienced coaches. Leon did do a little bit of a wind up when he first joined, trying to pretend that he was a bit of a new player. Not for any other reason. It's just a bit of a laugh and a bit of a troll. But the way he did it, we could kind of tell that, yeah, you know what you're talking about. We know your experience. So Leon's quite a good coach. He did have to quit for a little while, and he's rejoined us again. He rejoined us on the Neophyte because, of course, the scheduling isn't. Oh, what we're going to get? Only he's stunned there. So the scheduling isn't so hard in the side leagues, and yeah, so you know he's a returning player. I can't remember if he's faced Matt before. We know Matt's an experienced coach. I admit I haven't been following the Neophyte games as closely as maybe I should have been, with a lot of real life stuff going on as it happens. But I'm definitely going to commentate that match. I'm going to do it live. I might send them a little message to let them know I'm doing it. But that'll be the next commentary. And like I say, I won't comment on my own matches live after this one. I might, we got an injury. What sort of injury do we get? It's only on a journeyman. He can live with that. That's fine. I'm not going to attempt to do anything there. I can't stop him, but I am going to sort of try and stop this vampire from getting a free hit on her. Of course, she fails that dodge, and she gets stunned. So, you know, we live and learn. I'll comment on my own matches on the replays. Or maybe other people might take it upon themselves to start doing commentaries, and we can take it from there. But as you know, the content's all new. We're all learning as we go along a little bit. But like I say, this match has definitely shown me that I don't want to be live commenting on my own matches because I need to focus on the game a little bit. It didn't really affect me too much, but I could see if I was playing a very pinnacle game against more and more evenly matched team. Oh, he bloodlusted on the ball carrier. That's not a good thing. But did he? Oh, I was missing that. But he'll get the touchdown there. He did the right thing there, and he gets that touchdown. That's what we like to see. He gets 3 star player points on that vampire. That's definitely worthwhile. Always a good thing. He's taken a few injuries this game, but nothing unrecoverable. I didn't kill any of the vampires. Nothing permanent. So yeah, he's going to set up. He's probably going to move those vampires right out of the way like that because he doesn't want me hitting them. I'm just going to put that one there. In fact, let's do this a bit sensibly. Just got a quick check on my star player points, see who I want to give the vanity pass to. Okay, nobody too much. We'll probably try and get it on this line here. That'll give her up to 13. Get her a touchdown. I'm playing the AI next, and as you all know, we put up a poll about how to handle the AI, but everybody kind of wanted that free game, and I don't mind. I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm sure you all do as well. Hopefully next season, I'm hoping Leon will join us for season 13. We did start season 12 pretty quickly. Yeah, we want to swap those two around there. And we want somebody just to smack that one out of the way. So we're just going to get a few free hits. So yeah, as always, live and learn. I hope you will still find some entertainment in this commentary. It was a little bit disjointed as I'm trying to focus on actually playing the game as well. Of course, he now gets a blitz. Not much he can do with that, really. He doesn't want to move his vampires down. Just replying to a comment that he's given me. So again, I've learnt my lesson. I'm not going to live commentate on my own matches when they're live. I might do it in a recorded thing, but I'll still put this up into the group. It's all good. But yeah, just replying to his comment. I didn't even say good luck to him. I just, yeah, start playing. So we're going to try and get some hits. I think it's been we haven't had, no, actually that's a lie. We have had some casualties and things. Just move them up. I should have hit this one first, really. Again, I'm focusing on doing the commentary as well. That obviously, if I had lost this game, that would have been my excuse for losing. Oh, I was doing the commentaries. So here we go. I'm not going to take too much longer now. I'm just going to hit the players that I can. Oh, I wanted to follow up there. Never mind. And we'll do the splits here. because we want to get this wrestle down. If you're going to foul, we're going to obviously try and maybe do a foul as well. Obviously in this league. Oh, he's got a wrestle, of course, but that'll put him on the floor. That's good by me, either way. One less assist on the foul. That's okay. So we're definitely going to do this. No offense, Liam, but you know, we give you tons of kudos for your stamina and everything you've been doing. Oh, I've got a reroll, so move this one up. Get the foul in. Why not? 4+ foul, and she's going to get sent off, as you can see from that weight. So that's going to do any damage though. No real damage. Sent off. Not going to get the vanity pass in. So thanks for the game, Ken. Sorry, I think I called you Liam a couple of times at the end there. No offense, but thanks for the game, Ken. You put up a pretty good fight there. It's been a tough season for you, and yeah, you've done the league proud. You have done the league proud. So let's have a little look while we're here. I get a 2 on the trail. I'm going to re-roll that because it's a 2. Let's see what I get. I get another 2. That seems fair enough. I'll have a little quick look at... Oh, no, I'm going to turn that down. Don't want to buy her. So, yeah, he gets... I think, yeah, that gives him a level up on the Thrall. That doesn't give me a level up on the Blitzer, and that's all good. But thank you for listening, and until next time, we'll see you on the pitch. Good night.